Hello, fellow dreamers, and welcome to another bedtime story with Sleepytime Sam. This is the story of Alec, Mimple, and the Dragon of Dusty Hollow. I do hope you enjoy it. But before we get started, did you watch the first episode of this bedtime story? If not, tap the message box that pops up in the right-hand corner of this screen if you'd like to listen to that one first, because it's a good one. But if you'd like to listen to this one, let's get started now. In the tiny village of Thimblewisk, nestled between whispering woods and wildflower meadows, life had found a gentle rhythm. Alec, the quiet man with kind eyes, and Mimple, the mischievous house gnome with a gray flowing beard, had become an unlikely but inseparable pair. Each day brought something delightful. Tea made with dandelion leaves, mismatched socks that made the day interesting. Prank ping-pong, as Mimple called it, had become a nightly ritual. And best of all, Alec wasn't alone anymore. But one morning, Mimple appeared unusually serious. He stood on Alec's kitchen table, arms folded, wearing a tiny hiking pack made from an old suitcase. His boots were polished, and he looked ready for adventure. "Alec," he said gravely, "I need your help. We're going on a trip." Alec blinked over his mug of nettle tea. "You said trip like I won't like it." "I didn't say it wasn't dangerous," Mimple replied. "But I promise it's important, and I need you." Alec gave an amused grin, slid on his boots, and watched Mimple pack some sandwiches. "Lead the way," Alec said. They walked for most of the morning, winding through bramble thickets and old logging trails until they reached the edge of Dusty Hollow, a steep ravine with a narrow wooden bridge and a gaping mining cave at the far end. Alec stopped. "Wait, this is where we're going?" Mimple nodded solemnly. "The old mining cave." "But no one's been down there in years. They say it's cursed. That something lives in it." "Yes," said Mimple, his voice soft. "They say a dragon lives there." Alec smirked. "So naturally, you brought your favorite soft-skinned human friend with no fireproof abilities?" "I brought sandwiches," Mimple said brightly. "And besides, you'll see, it's not what the villagers think." The cave swallowed them in shadows as they entered, torches flickering along the stone walls. Echoes of old mining tools clinked faintly in the distance, like ghosts finishing work they swore they'd never leave behind. Alec walked slowly, ducking under low arches, while Mimple tiptoed along a ridge of rock. "Mind the glowing moss," Mimple said. "It's not poisonous, just rude. Don't worry, as long as you don't touch it, everything will be fine." Deeper and deeper they went, until a soft rumble vibrated through the cavern floor. Alec froze. "Tell me that was your stomach." "Nope, I already ate all the sandwiches," Mimple chirped, and pressed a finger to his lips. They entered a vast chamber, glittering with an unbelievable amount of gold and precious gems. And in the middle, curled like a cat in the sun, lay a dragon. She was enormous, her scales deep green and opalescent like dewdrops on leaves. Her wings were tucked in, and her breath came slow and steady, rustling gold dust from the floor each time she exhaled. Alec whispered, "We need to go." But Mimple didn't move. Instead, he stepped forward and cleared his throat. Excuse me, Lady Smolderflap?" The dragon cracked open one golden eye. "Oh, it's you, Sparklefoot," she said in a voice that rolled like velvet thunder. "And you brought a tall one." Mimple beamed. "This is Alec. He's very polite, and he rarely screams, as far as I know." Alec gave a stiff but confident nod. Lady Smolderflap stretched lazily and sat up. Her tail curled around her and shimmered like glittering diamonds. "Don't worry, dear boy. I don't eat humans. Too chewy. No offense." "None taken," Alex croaked. Over the next hour, Alec learned the truth. Years ago, Lady Smolderflap had taken residence in the mine not to terrorize the village, but to protect it. The mining operation in the cavern had begun leaking poisonous gases into the forest, and she had sealed it with molten rock and crystal, staying behind to keep the pressure contained. The villagers who ventured near only heard her growls and saw firelight flickering off the walls of her cave. "They assumed I was something dreadful," she said with a shrug. "It was easier to think that than explain geology to them." "But why bring me here?" Alec asked Mimple. Mimple shuffled. "Because I needed your help. For something really special." The little gnome pulled a folded drawing from his pack. It showed a necklace made of shimmering gems and delicate inlays. His design was fit for a queen. For Miss Applewhistle, he said shyly. Her birthday is next week. She's kind and funny, and I want her to feel special. I want to make her something beautiful, and only Lady Smolderflap has the materials that glow under the moonlight. Alec's face softened. You did all this for a crush? Mimple turned bright red down to his toes. It's not a crush. It's an extremely warm admiration wrapped in fond feelings and occasional longing. Lady Smolderflap chuckled and handed Mimple a bunch of sparkling gems and a delicate coil of natural copper. Go on, you little romantic nuisance. On the walk back, Alec carried the precious bundle while Mimple skipped ahead, whistling. You could have told me about the dragon, Alec said. I didn't want you to say no, Mimple replied. And besides, I knew you'd understand once you heard the truth. They reached the edge of the forest just as the sun began to dip below the hills. Fireflies blinked on, one by one, as if they were painting stars in the trees. Alec looked down at Mimple, who was now carefully polishing a radiant gem with his handkerchief. You know, Alec said, I used to be lonely. I liked being alone. I told myself I didn't need anyone. Mimple looked up. And now? Now I've got you, Alec said. And Lady Smolderflap, and a neighbor who's going to love her birthday present. I didn't realize how much better life could be until someone started replacing my socks and leading me into dragon mines. Mimple beamed. You're welcome. A week later, on a clear night filled with warm breeze and laughter, Miss Applewhistle opened a tiny velvet pouch to reveal the glowing gem necklace. She gasped. Oh my, it's magnificent. Mimple pretended to dust off his knees. It's made from starlight, sincerity, and exactly 3 sneezes of cave dragon dust. Alec winked at the gnome, then raised his teacup. To friends who show us magic, he said. And to gnomes, Mimple added, who always know when to stir up a little trouble, for the right reasons. And beneath the moonlight they all toasted, but far beneath the earth, Lady Smolderflap exhaled a plume of silver smoke and smiled in her sleep. And for at least one more night, the town of Thimblewisk went to bed happy. The end. Would you like to hear more about the adventures of Alec and his gnome friend Mimple? If so, please tap the like button. And if you'd like to leave a comment, I'd love to hear what you think about the story. If you've already listened to all the stories of Alec and Mimple and want to hear another story, tap one of the thumbnails at the end of this video and I'll be happy to read another story to you. But with that out of the way, I'd like to wish you sweet dreams and a happy tomorrow. Good night, my friends.